All right, good morning, third and fourth graders, or good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. This is the second part of the review for Chapter 12, and don't forget your test is on Monday. I am on page 443 in your books. I left off on number 8, so that is the one I will be starting in on. It says, I can't read. It says, why do some people invest in businesses? So remember, investing your money is a way of you putting your money into something and trying to get some back. So why do some people choose to invest in a business, you think? Okay, so let's think about that while I write down an answer. Okay, here's what I came up with. They hope to make money if the business grows. So maybe it's a small business that they're trying to put their money into right now because they think, okay, a lot of people will probably like this business. I could end up making money on it then when it becomes a bigger business. So that's what they're really hoping, that the business will become bigger and that will give them more money back on their investment. Okay. Now we're moving on to some multiple choice. Number 9 says, which of the following is used by banks to take money from a person's account to pay the seller? Is it A, bills, B, coins, C, wampum beads, or D, checks? What do you use to take money out of an account to pay the person that you need to pay? Okay, let's say D, checks. It's like when your parents have to pay your tuition to Mr. Doms, they usually give him a check to pay for it. 10. What do businesses in Tokyo, Japan depend on stores to do? A, provide parts. B, ship goods. C, sell their product. Or D, produce computers. So what would they depend on the stores to do? What would they depend on the stores to do? Okay. Sell their product. That's what a store is for, to sell. So they would depend on their store to sell their product. Okay. Now the last two are critical thinking. Remember, that means that you're using your brains a little bit more to apply the knowledge, and it's not necessarily a cut and dry answer. Number 11 says, how might your life be different if you did not live in a free market economy? So we got to think about, what is a free market economy? A free market economy, remember, is where and that's like what it is in the United States, where we can basically sell goods or services of any kind as long as it's legal. And most everything is legal to sell. Okay, so what would happen if you did not have a free market economy? Think about that. This is not an exact answer, but this is pretty close to the type of thing you should have for this. If you didn't have a free market economy, you'd have a lot less choices of products or services to choose from. You might not have like 10 different types of bookstores to go to, or you might not be even allowed to buy certain items because they would be banned, for example. So you'd have less choices. That would be the big part of that. Okay. Now I'm going to do our last question for this review. What might you do if a product you used became scarce? Remember, scarce means that there's not a lot of it. It would be really difficult to get an item that is scarce. At the beginning of this COVID pandemic, toilet paper was scarce. So then think about what you would have to do then if you don't have those options. Okay, not necessarily what would you do without the toilet paper there, but what would you do if something became scarce? Okay, so I'm writing down, you might have to find something similar. So if toilet paper is completely out, get some Kleenex. Okay, if the bread that you liked was out, you'd get a different type of bread. So you might have to just find something that is similar to that, or go without for a while if there's something that's gone that you would normally use. Just maybe go without. Okay, so those are the types of options you would have. Now, your test is on Monday. Normally, I've said in the past I don't like giving tests on Monday, but being in the circumstances we're in, I'm not too concerned because many of you are using your books right now for the test to help you out. Please make sure that you are checking on Monday to take that test right away before you move on. After the test, next week, we're going to be working on Wisconsin items and completely done with this social studies book. So please make sure that you're getting to the test and taking care of that, and make sure all of your stuff is finished for chapter 12 before you begin that test. Okay, see you next week.